Welcome to Tiny Tours. I am Jan Clay, a docent at the Meadows Museum, and I invite you to view Residuos Históricos by Miguel Zapata, a contemporary Spanish artist. He frequently references historical images in his works, connecting the imagery of the Spanish Golden Age, Greco-Roman art, and the Italian Renaissance with his present-day time. We have several works by this artist, but this one is unique. It is a large mixed media piece, roughly 6.5 by 4 feet. There's a very recognizable figure in the center, a direct reference to a portrait painted by Velázquez, recognized as the leading Spanish painter of the 17th century and one of the greatest masters of the art. It is of Pope Innocent X, a powerful Renaissance figure. This referenced portrait has been described as the greatest portrait ever painted. It is that of a highly intelligent, shrewd but aging man with a ruddy complexion. Red is one of the most difficult colors to use. This artwork is also very ruddy, isn't it? With this painting, Velázquez brought new life into the art of portraiture in Spain. There is refinement and restraint. The sitter described his portrait as being too realistic. But even though it is recognizable, it is completely different because it has gone through Zapata's process. Now we are looking at something that is not too realistic. Valley House gallery owner Kevin Vogel asked Zapata what he was thinking when he created. Zapata responded there were 3 things: old into new, the process of building and destroying and bringing it all back together again, and the difference between beauty and power. When all of those come together, balance, I'm finished. The inclusion of historical images is an emotional response to the past, but Zapata's work is very modern. Those scratches and graffiti-like elements are from our time, a contemporary edition, perhaps a struggle to make things relevant. These gestures appear random, but are most definitely not. They have been carefully practiced. Great discipline has gone into all of his gestures. Zapata grew up in Spain, in the village of Cuenca, and was always drawing and playing in the cathedral with his friends until the priest would throw them out. The gouges in the surface of some of his works could be a connection to the trenches carved into hillsides by farmers. Gouging is symbolic of erosion that creates the dramatic setting which is Cuenca. These earthly colors might also be representative of his Cuenca. His life seems to be a struggle between the wishes of his father and his desire to be an artist. When Zapata did not show for his finals at law school in Madrid, his father cut him off financially. This period was followed by supporting himself drawing portraits in local taverns around Madrid, then to Barcelona, where he joined a commune of artists, to Paris, where he designed theater sets, followed by medical school in Madrid, where his skills as a draftsman were very useful, but his radical political involvement drew him to activities forbidden in the Franco regime. He was asked to leave his 4th year after protesting how medical funds were being diverted from intended use. There may be a connection to this pope, who was also trained as a lawyer and who, furthermore, initiated legal action against relatives of the former pope for the misappropriation of public funds. Zapata's critical success emerged in the decade following Franco's death. Returning to the piece, there is the color yellow growing upwards from the bottom left corner. Could that shiny color possibly represent gold? Perhaps man's lust for it through the ages? A timeless reference to greed and power? Yellow also conveys happiness, and I would like to believe it is joyful, hopeful, and optimistic. Zapata is a unique artist and a product of his heritage. He presents us with a dialogue between the past and the present, leading us through the history of art. He transforms a work from one medium into another medium, often creating it as a relief. And in the words of Luis Martin, the late emeritus professor of history at Southern Methodist University, he became the greatest Renaissance mind that I have encountered in my life. I invite you to visit the Meadows and draw your own conclusions about this piece along with many other intriguing items in the collection. Thank you for listening. Plan to join us for more of the Meadows Museum's Tiny Tours.